Kouma way very quick at that first winner side for Hamma. They both got
he reset the
losers,
bracket
and he
real
reset the
quick,
bracket. Yes, he did. And then Hamma took it over. He just adapted. So we've seen this match before. It's going to be a lot of pressure that's going to be coming from Hamma. Oh, but
I imagine Koma's been spending a lot of time thinking about this.
Yes.
I remember when I was watching Coma play last week, there was a moment of like, I know the feeling that he's been going through. This has kind of been the situation that I've been in Xanadu for a bit. I know that one thing Koma's always talked about, even like an under night, with dealing with like very aggressive players, and like a lot of the annoyances that you have to deal with, because you have to keep everything really, really, really tight.
Yes.
Or else suddenly it's a scramble,
Yes.
and that's what they want,
yes.
right?
It's a scramble. You're giving them that opportunity, to, if you're not getting that scramble situation, you could make a mistake. And then if they get the thrival on that, then they can turn the momentum of that, and then that could mess up how you're executing, and that can mess up your mental.
And the worst feeling is you have 99 seconds where 75 of them you're in absolute control.
Oh yeah.
And then in the last 15, suddenly you're dead. And that can kind of like play on you, right? Because you start getting those intrusive thoughts, like oh man, like this was my game. I can't believe that like this is the situation. Oh, what a backdash!
Oh, I just saw that too. After the scoop as well. Okay. The sense for him to be able to throw that out there like that was strong.
On the opposite end,
yes,
it really hurts when you have been the aggressive player, you've had the aggression the entire match, and then all of a sudden
he's talking about it right now, ladies and gentlemen. Yep, he's talking about it right now. It's not over, definitely. Oh, as I said, okay, no,
one more. Guess for the game.
But that's what he had to freeze. And that was well studied because he would do the orb behind I saw last week. And then since he was lacking resources this time, but if he would have had a little bit of moon gauge, I know he would have did a little bit of clash frame lariat, and then he would have tried to get out there safe-ish. I saw that happen last week. That did not happen that time. He spaced it out much better. Went over there for the throw. He wasn't sure quite what to do. Hamma not looking as great as he did against Coma before, but it can always change. Both of them are very adaptive plays. Did you see that confirm off of that fireball trap?
Absolutely, yeah. So that kind of goes back to one thing I was starting to say earlier, which is I imagine that Coma has been thinking about last week's match quite a bit. One thing about like a player the caliber of Coma is that you're going to make adjustments, right? You're not going to be on the same exact game plan that you were on last week, especially if you lost. Right. The Hamma run-up DP.
I really just see that. That was as I was just saying before. Like I've seen this guy play for years over here at Xanadu, and this guy has so much aggression with his play, man. Like the physical embodiment of him just going up there and like oppressing you from mid-screen all the way to oppressing you with plus frame buttons right over there. His rebeat, pressure is actually fairly good. Coma's not even checking it. He doesn't even know where to check it at. This is enough meter for the pressure as he's forced to release that. No pun intended, but he does get smacked up in there.
He's still gonna die here.
Oh man, is he gonna do the counter perf? Coma did it. Snatches into the counter perfect right over there. Okay, tell me how you both really feel about each other. Okay?
They both got a little bit of pee on each other. Okay.
I feel that. I'll try to go for the anti-air to H in that sense. That didn't work.
Oh, okay, here we go.
Try to take back his turn.
Judging by how the last rounds have went, Coma just won.
Did you see how we just dashed up, pushed him out of the fireball, and just smoked him with the 2B? That was so nice.
All right, we're going to do a little bit of Oki here. Got to block your dome. All right.
It's at least going to be into one more knockdown.
Yeah, this is going to be a setup here. He used the meter there.
Yep, and that's what he wanted. He wanted to force, and out of that set of force a defensive option, force two defensive options out of that. Now it's up to Hamma to keep that pressure right on there.
The super?
Yeah, the super is there. Yeah, the super is so hype.
All right, so Coma does have 1 meter now, so he will be able to. What an anti-air
was so strong. Oh, but he is going to get the wood punish right off of that.
Yeah, but this shouldn't kill, right? Like, he should have to do one more setup?
Yeah. It's going to be one more setup, and he is sitting on a moon gauge. Yep, goes for the reversal. Very ballsy confirmed.
Oh,
no snatchies.
Good short shield. All right, we're going to see the pressure here.
Laser pressure. What is, he had to eke it out again. This is, he didn't have as much meter, so he's not going to get as much health. Snatched him out of the air. Well, we got enough moon
that was a rough
driving
situation.
time.
Yeah, Hamma had to block. And there's going to be the laser.
He ran right into the laser beam.
That's going to be 2-0. And you could see kind of the adjustments that Coma's made from the last match. And now they're in a situation where Hamma has to make the adjustment, and then Coma has to make sure that he keeps things tight enough that it doesn't matter.
No, I definitely understand that. But he is keeping not tight enough as he was able to get that reversal right over there. You have to assume that Kouma is aware that Hamma is willing over to Abari with those DPs when he feels like it is going to come at a point where he could just slow down the momentum a little bit. He's very good at choosing when and where he wants to do those things. It's not just willy-nilly. It's not just the, ooh, wow. Shield the throw attempt and
initial
then
jump there.
hit the counter shield. All for the BC. Wow.
Ooh, kicked it back up. Okay, that wasn't just a regular drop. Okay, that was a drop opportunity.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna have to set up here. Oh,
the
throw to the
throw.
fatal counter.
Ooh. So lucky Aoko is one of those characters that gets a throw in the combo in the corner.
Unfortunate.
Oh, and he sealed it.
And there's the OS. Yep.
I was feeling that right over there.
So I think that like two things that were really cool about that offensive sequence is you saw Hamma stop time after he threw down the bomb.
Yep.
And he saw that Kouma wasn't doing anything. Kouma knew the bomb was about to detonate, so he didn't have to. And so Hamma could see that DP wouldn't get him anything.
Right.
And he had the block.
He had
and
the
then
block.
Kouma could just continue the pressure there from.
But that's so risky. Like even seeing when your opponent is respecting your defensive options, it's like why go for the force release after that? It's like, ugh.
Well, I mean that was one block string later.
Yeah.
It was one of those situations where he had already held a little bit.
Yeah.
And when you're one hit from death, it must be terrifying, knowing that the next setup could be it. That force relief was probably and it looked like Kouma was looking for it there again.
Right.
And Hamma's doing the force release in pretty smart places.
Yeah.
I would say even the one that didn't pan out last round, it was still pretty smart. He had waited until after the bomb had detonated, after the pressure had started again. And so he could kind of interrupt it. It was just that Kouma absolutely ready. And so now Hamma's in a situation now where he doesn't have any of those resources, and this next setup is going to be a big one.
Yeah, it's not looking too good for Hamma right over there. He has to take one more mix in a dream, and he does have a moon drive, to counteract that. So that is a screen freeze if there's some. And he just smokes him. Checks the shins right over there, falls to his knees. That's how that works logistically.
And that was a dominant 3-0 there from Kouma. In the second match, it looked like maybe Hamma was kind of putting together what he needed to do, what adjustments he needed to make. But obviously Kouma noticed, and he just kept his pressure just tight enough that Hamma didn't have very many good decisions, right? There were situations where there was no way without taking some kind of risk for him to get out, and then he has to choose where to take those risks, right?
Oh, they just helped me.
Oh. Okay.